upcoming encounter. It's the Centurions taking on Featherstone Rovers. I'm Dave Parkinson. I'm alongside Joe Wood, and we've got Rob Leigh helping us out on commentary today. So hello, gentlemen, and nice to be back here at God's country.
It certainly is, Dave. As we said in our piece on Leigh Centurions and Mixler previously, we've all had to set our sat-nav to get back here, but looking back at this green grass of home, it looks in fantastic condition again. Of course, Leigh Sports Village do take great pride in the pitch, and they've just had it reseeded, relaid, whatever they do in this technology. Is supplied by Keith, our top groundsman down here, and as you said, Dave, we're back here at Leigh Sports Village, ready to welcome Featherstone Rovers back to the stadium. I can see, looking to our left, they probably brought out a coach load of Featherstone fans.
That's the whole village, I think.
I was being kind there, Rob. It is an old pit village, as we know. Featherstone, Wakefield and Castleford, as my co-commentator Mr. Parkinson puts back his cap on, has got wet through doing a match yesterday. He's only got one cap, but he's managed to dry it out. So we await both teams. It's a minute to 3 according to the clock facing us. Dave, shall we quickly skip through the teams?
Joe, you've got the team sheet in front of you.
I've got the team sheet, and we're starting with the Leigh Centurions. Starting at fullback is number 26, Lee Smith. On the wings is number 2, Adam Higson, and number 5, Liam Kay, with centres number 3, Greg Worthington, and number 24, Tom Armstrong. Yet again, a fresh half-back pairing. 38, Travis Burns, who we all know is on loan from St Helens, and number 36, Josh Drinkwater. I think this is Josh's home debut, isn't it? Well, they're both the home debuts.
Yeah, both the home debuts.
Yeah, so I'm right on that one. Starting pack is number 8, Fui Moi Moi, number 32, Liam Hood, and number 10, Dane Weston. And in the second row, it's number 16, Rennie Matua, 13, Corey Patterson, with number 11, Harrison Anson, who'll no doubt be the captain on the field. He's packing down at loose forward. And on the bench for Leigh today is number 20, Sam Hopkins, number 31, Ben Reynolds, number 35, Brad Fash, and number 37, Ben Evans, who we've got on loan from the Warrington Wolves, who we're making his debut as well. And head coach, of course, is Neil Dukes.
For Featherstone Rovers, they've got Danny Craven at fullback, a backline of Kieran Johnson, Ian Hardman, Jamie Carding and Jamie Foster, a half-back pairing of Kyle Briggs and Anthony Thackeray, a front row of Darryl Griffin, Andy Ellis and Jordan Baldwinson, a back row of Tim Spears, John Davis and Bradley Knowles-Tagg, and a substitute bench of Colton Roach, Jack Armonroyd, Andy Bostock and Robbie Ward, who's recently joined the club after previously having spent time with Leeds, and he went abroad to play in Australia.
Is he related to Stevie Ward over at Leeds, you know?
I don't know, to be honest, but I do know that he played in that game between Leigh and Leeds in the Challenge Cup a couple of seasons ago.
Right. And the referee, of course, is Mr. Ansell.
From Bradford.
I think it's Scott Ansell, isn't it?
Sam Ansell,
yeah. So both teams enter the field, Leigh Centurions with the mascots coming onto the field, and they're playing in the traditional red and white shirts with white shorts, and Featherstone back to their traditional blue with a very thin white hoop.
They describe them as butcher's stripes, don't they, in Featherstone, I think?
Have they got a butcher's in Featherstone?
I don't know, I've never partaken. We're going to be pausing for a minute's silence in a couple of minutes' time. This in memory of Alan Rathbone, a player that played for Leigh back in the 1970s. A real character of a man who also played for Warrington and Bradford, also played for Leeds and Rochdale. So we'll be pausing for a minute's silence in memory of Alan Rathbone. The minute's silence will begin and end on the referee's whistle. And we'll be back with full coverage afterwards. A perfectly observed minute's silence there in memory of former Leeds, Rochdale and Bradford player Alan Rathbone, who sadly passed away last weekend. Our teams are ready. Leigh setting up position. We're actually going to be attacking the north stand in the first half, so we must have lost the toss.
Yeah, I must agree with you that is a psychological thing for the away team, knowing that Leigh have got to play to the north stand, whichever away team as it is. It's Featherstone Rovers, and they're about to kick off. So they'll be playing from right to left in the blue with a white trim shirt, blue shorts, and Leigh in the traditional red shirt with white shorts. I've got the finger on the Joe Wood stopwatch.
And away we go. So, Featherstone kicking off to Leigh. First of all, quick word for Sam Armstrong, who's joined us. Nice for you to have you with us, by the way, Sam. And he said it's a nice gesture having a minute's silence. Alan Rathbone was one of his favourite players as a youngster, epitomised the hard nature of the game, and his passing is a great shame. Rest in peace. Yeah,
I second that as Tom Armstrong takes the first round. I actually played with Alan Rathbone, and what a character he was as the ball goes out wide to Josh Drinkwater, who brings...
Harrison Anson, who's down 35 metres from his own line. Next it's Dane Weston carrying the ball forward down the middle. He's just veering off down the left hand side, where he's controlled to the turf by 3 enthusiastic Featherstone defenders. Hood at dummy half, passes for Fury Moimoi. He tries to burst his way down the middle, knocks one player off his haunches and plays it inside the Featherstone half. He's sent left, Drinkwater dabs it over the top with a boot. It's a long kick into the corner, in behind the Featherstone defence, and Danny Craven was really caught there, and it was a great chase. Sorry, Rob.
I was just about to say that was a great tactical kick that from Josh Drinkwater, who was practising now and training on Thursday. Just a little dabs over the top, making him sit up just before the line, really forcing Craven to make something on it there. This is ferocious defence, this from Leigh Centurions. They're still trapped in the 20 and they're having to go wide as Tom Armstrong, Travis Burns and Adam Higson all throw themselves into that tackle, and Featherstone are really struggling to get out their own 20 metre line.
Yeah, finally they manage it now with Spears coming through the middle, 20 metres in from the left touch line. He's 25 metres away from his line now. And then it's kicked forward from dummy half by Craven. Long kick, relieving kick, but underneath that one comfortably enough. 25 metres from his own line is Lee Smith, and he just makes everything look so easy, effortless as he managed to just weave his way towards halfway line. Ball's played, it's in the middle of the field with Adam Higson, was struggling in his warm-up, but manages to make his way over the halfway line despite the attention of 3 Featherstone players. It's on the right hand side with Burns, who drops it back to Patterson. Nice to see Corey Patterson back as well. There seemed to be a high tackle there as well by Spears around the neck. It comes to the middle of the field now, the ball with Weston. Short pass there for Fufu Moimoi. I don't think he expected it, and the big Tongan's knocked on.
Yeah, very much so. I think Fu was running as a lead runner, and the ball should have gone round the back to, I think it was Josh Drinkwater linking around the back, but Dane Weston trying to be a bit of ball handling there, which he is normally pretty secure with the ball, but as you said, Dave, Fu was in a blind alley there and got clattered for his run and lost the ball in contact. So Featherstone will scrum down about 28 metres from their own line, and again they get used to the ball. And
it's Craven kicking long. He's got the quick back line of Featherstone. Foster's after this one. Foster's chasing downfield. The ball beats everybody but goes over the 20 metre line. This is a 40-20 kick. That's great work from Featherstone Rovers, by the way. Great bit of thinking. You don't see enough variation from scrum place for me.
No, that's true. So
magnificent kick from Craven, pushing Rovers right down into the Leigh 20 metre line.
Everybody backslapping there. Danny Craven is the next witness player, which you will have seen, Dave, quite a few times over at the Widnes Stadium.
Yeah, he's on loan there at Featherstone this season, last year of his contract. Will make a very good signing for somebody. In fact, he's had a good impact over at Fev this year. So Rovers go on the attack. Thackeray feeds. It comes out the back with Briggs. Thackeray then feeds it right. Craven. The 3 of them were getting rave write-ups last week as they beat Swinton 58-12. The 15 metres away from the try line as Baldwinson heads straight forwards into the 10. He'll look to play it to Ellis. Ellis comes left, brings it left to Briggs, who plays it at the front man in Spears. Good tackling from Leigh though. They're going to have to be really, really sure here of the Centurions. Ellis, neck on a swivel, sends it to the right hand side. Run comes in from Knowles Tagg, who's 5 metres away from the line. Just at the right hand side of the post, it's sent right again. Briggs onto Thackeray, who plays at the front man in Davies, but they've lost the ball. Leigh playing on the 0 tackle. It's been charged down this by Featherstone, who are going to dive on it. and all the fans behind the sticks, they'll claim the points, but there was always a knock on there.
Yeah, always a knock on. I mean, even in that first incident, David, it was a free play by Leigh, so naturally the referees brought it back to the initial incident where Featherstone, exactly the same running line that Fooey did off Dane Weston, ran down a bit of a dead alley and got clattered and the ball spilled. So Leigh will scrum on their own 10-metre line, our head and feet.
Great to hear from Lindsay as well. She's in Zante at the moment. She's suffering a bit of buffering. We've all had that. But
Zante,
she's managing to catch our commentary, which is good, and other people reporting that were loud and clear, as was the referee's whistle there. Featherstone Rovers holding down the Centurions and Leigh getting the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, we've said many times, Dave, all teams try to hold us down and slow us down because they can't live with us when we're get quick play of the ball. So we'll restart, and the ball goes straight to Dane Weston, who takes one straight at the heart of 4 Featherstone defenders.
In fact, Springsteen says that we sounded better than Bruce over at Wembley. Sound clearer anyway.
Good stuff. Fooey takes another drive straight at the heart of Featherstone's 4 defenders.
Took 4 defenders out of the line then. Kick comes in from Travis Burns down the right hand side. It's a good one. In behind Craven. Craven's got work to do. The ball just beats everybody, but it was a good idea, wasn't it?
Yeah, and as we said, Dave, about this pitch, it's really lush and green, and I should imagine the ball is really quick on this surface. Mr. Ansell saying he didn't tap it in the right place, so start again.
Foster will go again. Taps it. Was there really much point? Only makes 5 metres forward on that occasion. Ellison at dummy half, checking what's left and right, puts it to the right hand side to Baldwinson. Good drive forward, but he's stopped 32 metres from his own line in the middle of the field. This time it's switched to the left hand side. Run coming in there from Knowles' tag up to the 40 metre line. Featherstone still inside their own half. They might cross halfway line now, but in fact no, that's great defending on Griffith.
In fact, he did get over the halfway line with a
in the end,
bit of a shuffle.
Kick comes in down the left hand side. It's a good one. Leigh Smith has work to do. Does well to escape the clutches there. He's such
a casual player when it comes to it. He seems to have all the time in the world. To us it looks like he's really under pressure, but to him he must have an hour for every minute that passes in our life.
Here's Armstrong. Oh, he's knocked on there, but there's a penalty going Leigh's way. Hands in. Spears can't believe the call against him. Meanwhile, Leigh getting on with play quickly. It's too quick for the referee's liking. Travis Burns kicking the ball out just beneath us.
That's unbelievable. He was on the mark and everything. What does the referee have got to go all the hand signals and that, right? So, but anyway, we'll restart again. Once the ball comes back in.
I've been really looking forward to seeing Travis Burns play today after his debut last week against Whitehaven, where he was on fast forward and everyone else was on play. Referee's telling them where to play it from directly.
He's saying the ball actually
wasn't played properly.
No, it was on his knee as he played it too, actually. Tom Worthington then.
Well, it's actually a rule.
You can tap it anywhere, can't you? Hang on, Leigh spraying play down the left hand side. It's all the way across to Liam Kay. Kay bouncing off a couple of tacklers. Sorry to talk over you lads, but Kay brushes away from a couple, comes inside. He's 20 metres in from touch, 45 metres away from his own line. Forward crashes through the head recoils. Ball popped out to Burns, who feeds it right to Patterson. Onto Armstrong, brushes away from the tackle of Foster. Didn't want to know then. Foster comes in as third man, plays it 40 metres from the line to the left hand side. It's with Burns, who drops it back for Weston. The ball was too good for Dane Weston, and he spilled it up line and sinker.
Yeah, he took a knock in that collision then, did Jamie, and it was a good ball off Travis Burns. I think Dane's twisted his back because one of the Featherstone players went right underneath him, and he didn't actually somersault, but nearly did somersault over and in collision on the ground. He's feeling his right hip back, and the thumbs come up from, as I said before, Dave, I think that's Johnny, our new physio, replaced Hannah, who did great service for the club.
Angie and Dave, they're listening to us from Gran Canaria. Hope it's warmer there.
So do I. They'll pay a lot more money to go over to Gran Canaria than what we pay to come to Leigh Centurion Sports Village.
So Briggs is going to feed the scrum on the Featherstone 40 metre line. It comes out the back. It's with Hardman on the right hand side. Hardman takes the heavy hit. In the middle of a testimonial season is Hardman for his services to the game. plays it 35 out from his own line. Here comes Baldwinson straight down the middle, but straight into the heart of the Leigh defence, and Liam Hood, one of 3 players to drag him down. Not really going anywhere at the moment, but they're trying to go down the left hand side now, Featherstone, and again it's a blind alley. Spears is being forced back. Fierce defence from the Centurions. Still 0-0 if you're just joining us. Ball's put back to Briggs, who turns it in field to the right hand side, looking for Griffin. Griffin got a bash then, didn't he, from Fua?
Here I am, said Fua.
Thackeray just drops it back for Baldwinson, twisting, spinning, turning, can't get anywhere. He's 40 metres away from the Leigh line. Last tackle has been reached. It's to the left hand side with Craven, and then it's juggled off the deck by Travis Burns, but he managed to pick it up and got Leigh going forward again. Play the ball comes into Adam Higson, who tries to clear A and B markers. There's no Missy Talapapa in the Featherstone ranks today. He's suspended for today's game after kicking the ball out of somebody's hand in the act of scoring in the Summer Bash, I think it was. Big tackle there on Liam Kay and off his wing in the centre of the field, 45 metres from his own line. Plays it, and the ball sent right through Burns to find Patterson. Good tackle by Cording on him. Leigh just the wrong side of the halfway line as far as they're concerned. Harrison Hansen, big surge though, gains 10 metres, quick as you like. Last tackle signal of this set though. Leigh 40 metres away from the line. Drinkwater goes high, angles it towards the wing. Kieran Johnson's coming for it, comfortable take for him. The pint-sized winger brings it forward now, spins away from Rennie Matua, but straight into the contact of Liam Hood. And now Danny Craven also trying to clear his lines, but that's fierce defence again. It's been what we've come to expect over the opening 10 minutes of this game, isn't it, Joe?
It certainly is, yeah. And just harping back to the Featherstone game, Darryl Griffin, he was trying to mix it with the Leigh pack over at Post Office Road or the Big Fella Stadium, and I think he'll probably be in that same scenario here at Leigh Sports Village. The ball goes out to Featherstone's right hand side, trying to make inroads into our defence.
Yeah, Knowles tagged it well then to get beyond his own 40 metre line. Last tackle signalled, quick play down the right hand side. Davis completes the set with a kick for the middle. It'll bounce up. Higson collects it on his own line. Now he'll start the counter attack. Veers back into contact and runs it straight. He's 15 metres from his own line. Rob, what do you make of the opening of this game so far?
It's been very open. I think Leigh Centurion's defence is going to be the main talking point. They've all been ball and all tackles, really. There's been no chance for Featherstone to offload. They've been smothering them 2 or 3 numbers as we see Dane Weston crashing it in just to get Leigh over the 30 metre line. And you know, that's the difference between Leigh and Featherstone at the minute, is the fact that Leigh are smothering the tackles.
Although, to be fair, Dane Weston has lost the ball in the tackle. He's complaining bitterly to the referee, who's ruled a knock on against him. He felt there was hands in.
Yeah, I must agree with Dane though. The tackle had stopped. He'd stopped making progress, so really I think he was trying to get a quick play of the ball, which was said many times, which is what we like, but they still had hands in. They're supposed to release the ball, and Mr. Hanson's been very fortuitous, should I say, to Featherstone.
So Featherstone were wanting to get rid of the ball quickly from the base of the scrum, but the referee deems it wasn't a proper scrum. I don't think many of them are these days, are they? But they're getting a penalty, Featherstone, because they cleverly held it at the feet of the loose forward as Leigh disengaged.
Yeah, that's true, and it's a thing which is creeping into our game, and you know, it's a coach's idea. And Featherstone,
I didn't think they could go for goal from this. It's a differential penalty. They pointed to the sticks then. Mr. Ansell pointed at the sticks and then said, hang on, you can't do that.
No, he's telling him, you're right there. Well spotted, Mr. Parkinson, as Craven puts the ball into the west stand, and they're going to be attacking on our line again.
It's Thackeray, feeds it to the big man Griffin.
Even one of the touches had gone behind the post.
Both of them have gone behind the post, actually, so even
Thackeray opening play for Briggs. Briggs sliding a kick through. He's panicked there, but the ball's been worked out, and have they scored?
Forward pass.
Foster thought he'd scored. The pass that reached him from Cording was deemed to be forward. But for me, I thought they panicked a little bit, Featherstone.
I think they did, Dave. And I'm not complaining about them panicking a bit. But yeah, bit of a misunderstanding, because as Rob just pointed out, both touch judges weren't in position. So as we're talking how referees are, he should have waited till the touch judge was back on that side to say where the ball went in play. But thankfully Featherstone did panic a bit, and the ball to Jamie Foster, the ex-St Helens and Bradford winger. Am I right in that, Dave? He got the ball forward, even though he got it down. It was judged to be forward, so Tom Armstrong takes the first drive back onto the 10 metre line, and we'll see how quick they allow us to play the ball here as Rennie Matuati. I think that's the first time Rennie's had the ball in hand.
Yeah, he's done a couple of tackles down that side, and a fourth man joins that tackle to hit him in the midriff. That's got to hurt.
Yeah.
Rennie recently celebrated his birthday yesterday. Now it's brought forward by Fui Moi Moi. Still love saying that, you know. How can as a Leigh fan can you be saying you've got Fui Moi Moi and Rennie Matua playing for years? Liam Mudd takes a little dart down the left hand side.
Well, that was round the neck, so that should have been a penalty. He was using his chin as a lever there as Dane Weston crashes it forward towards the halfway line.
Good run.
And that's nice to hear the North stand in full voice.
Ball's back with Drinkwater, who's threaded that kick along the touchline. That's a super kick. He's not going to get anything like a 40-20 from it, but it just pins Featherstone back inside their own 20.
That's true, and he had to come back on himself because he's a left footer, and there was a Featherstone player right at the side of him, and he did well, as you said there, to get the ball away. And alright, Featherstone will scrum down on their own 10 metre line, but it's putting them under pressure, and hopefully Leigh are in the ascendancy here.
It's not a 40-20, but it's the next best thing. You've got a Featherstone scrum on the 10 metre line, that North stand breathing down the Rovers' necks, trying to force a mistake out of them. Leigh are playing towards that plethora of people up there. There's a huge wall of Leigh fans, and no doubt that's going to up their defensive rate to try and keep them pinned down here.
Yeah, and that'll help with the first impact which came in there from Harrison Hansen and Corden. He was going nowhere. Now Ellis works it to the right hand side to Knowles Tack, but he's not going anywhere either. They're still inside their own 20 metre line. 3 tackles gone and they're only just out there, but wide play to Kieran Johnson. Johnson is going to get dragged into touch though. The referee has deemed there's a hand in from a Leigh player though. I think they still go in favour of Featherstone Rovers. I think he's deemed that as the ball's moved over to the right hand side. Leigh have got hands in. I didn't see it personally, but I could see him waving his hands for play on, so he's in a much better position. We've got to give him the credit for that.
Well, yeah, but so what's the ruling there then? The ball's been played by a Leigh player, even though Featherstone was tackling touch. I don't know, that's another one for our experts to discuss.
He reckons that he must have reckoned that it was a 0 tackle play, so does not have any advantage.
Right, that's something for you to discuss on Chartbite Road. You and Kieran and Drew.
It is certainly something to discuss indeed.
Here's Craven, 35 metres out from his own line. Ball put to the left-hand side for Corden. Armstrong's all over him. That's super defence from him and Travis Burns. They gave him no room in which to manoeuvre. And here now is Spears. Ooh, big hit from Hickson. It's high. And he'll get penalised for it, will Adam Hickson.
Yeah, I'm afraid his timing and where he went in then was a bit high.
See, that's the thing for me. A high tackle's a high tackle when both players are stood up. When you're going into the tackle, the man's going down. Adam Hickson's still standing strong in the tackle, and then he brings his arm round, and it's unfortunate where it makes contact.
So it gives Featherstone great field position again, 30 metres away from the Leigh line. It's into the middle with Briggs, who releases it to his right hand side to Baldwinson, who powers his way forward for a 5 metre gain despite the attentions of 3 Leigh players. It's a slow play the ball as Ellis now runs to the right hand side, links with Thackeray through hands to Craven. Craven drops it back for Hardman to burst into the 20 metre line, but that's solid defence from the Centurions. Rennie Matua and Harrison Hansen. Still the threatening here of Featherstone. It's been all Rovers so far in this game as Briggs feeds it wide. It's an ambitious pass and bounces and bobbles its way all the way into touch in front of Foster. The chance has been lost.
Yeah, this centre, I think it was Jamie Corden, he came back on the angle, but the ball was below his knees as the ball went past him. So by the time he reached Foster on this wing, it was on his bootlaces, and he said, David, trickled into touch, and a poor end for Featherstone. As you say, it's been all Rovers, but that was a poor finish for John Sharp's team. But we're not complaining here at Leigh Centurions as Travis Burns feed the scrum, and at the moment it's 18 minutes into the game and the scrum's collapsed then. Fui actually picked the ball up and threw it at one of the Featherstone players. That's unusual for the scrum to collapse, but Mr Ansell's signal reformed the scrum, and it's overhead and feed yet again. So I think Featherstone actually pushed at that scrum there, which is a bit unusual. Anyway, we'll restart. Tom Armstrong
Poor play from the Centurions.
Buried between three players.
Pushing the ball down the right hand side. It was a blind alley with nowhere to go. Did well just to stay inside the field of play, and Leigh under a bit of pressure, 22 metres away from their own line, but that'll relieve it. Holding down on Adam Hickson. Wins more than his first share of penalties. I know he gives a couple away, but definitely wins them as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does relieve the pressure, Rob. As we've just said, it's been all Featherstone at the moment. I can't remember us looking to a right edge very often.
No, we've not really. We've only a couple of times, and they were both really for defensive sets. And it's only from the Josh Drinkwater kick that we've really looked that way as Fui drives it towards the halfway line now. It was an interesting scrum that before. It did look like Featherstone are pushing. You don't normally see that in this code of rugby as Hansen's.
Leigh pushing forward down the left hand side. Quick hands all the way out to Liam Kay. Liam Kay seems to have lost a good yard or two of pace though. Couldn't get away from a couple of defenders there. Leigh 42 metres away from the opponent's try line as Drinkwater sends it to the middle with Weston bursting his way through. There's been a couple of nice little interplays involving Leigh Smith, and he's lurking down the right hand side. That's where the ball comes with Burns out to Drinkwater all the way across to Hickson. He's got an acre of space to run into. He's inside the 20, he's inside the 10, he's going for the line, and he's in touch. He's just in touch. And for me, was he a bit greedy there? He seemed to have some support on the inside.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. I think there was a couple of Featherstone players in his eye line, so that's why, as you said, they're probably a bit greedily decided to go for the corner. And I think he tried to lift his feet up as he was going in. He actually got the ball down, but this near side touch was just a judge that I think he got his right boot just on the white.
Super recovery for Foster.
I was going to say though, that'd be something interesting to see if we had a video ref. Would that have gone upstairs?
If only, Rob, if only, yeah.
So Featherstone with the feed again, 10 metres away from their own line. It's recorded in the middle. Whoa! Rennie Metu has cleaned him out. Harrison Hansen down below. Slow play the ball as you'd expect, but ball now on the right hand side with Hardman. Hardman struggling to get forward. I'm loving this intensity in this Leigh defence. They've certainly ramped it up for this one. Now Davis, he's going nowhere. He's put down inside the 20.
Great tackle from Dane Weston. That. In fact, it was Harrison Hansen again.
Harrison Hansen involving himself again on Griffin. The two of them were teammates at Salford. And Fui Moimai just finished him off with the help of Hood. And again, they've only gone 20 metres ball in hand. This is a fantastic defensive set.
Yeah, they're going to have to
they'll look for Craven. Yeah. Some pressure comes on Craven, but he gets a kick away, which goes as far as Liam Kay, who juggles with it on the 20 metre line, then recovers his position and his poise and gets back to the 40 metre line with a solid kick return.
It was never square those markers then, referee.
And it looked more like a trip as well than a tackle. So
that was Leigh Smith running, by the way, just in case you were wondering. As Moimai takes it down the left hand side, plays it 40 metres out from the line. It comes in the field with Drinkwater to Harrison Hansen. Out to Travis Burns, stepping, gets an offload back to Harrison Hansen, runs it into the middle. Has three players on him. Eventually he yields to the tackle, 35 metres away from the Featherstone line. Hood has options to the left and the right and puts it right to Burns. Burns back to Patterson. Almost breaks the line as Patterson. Good tackle there from Cordin. There's a penalty coming Leigh's way though. Cordin had a second bite of the cherry. Leigh's fourth penalty.
It's a very soft penalty that to give away from Featherstone. You just about saw out the set. All you had to do was defend the kick, and we can hear the Featherstone coach from here. He's not too pleased with that penalty.
He's a stomper.
He's doing a Carl Harrison throwing a few cheers about his John Sharp, who was actually connected with the referee, so surely he can understand the referee's decision there.
Leigh tapping the ball 10 metres, 15 metres away from the line. They've gone within 10 now with Weston, who plays it in the middle of the field to Fui Moimai. Listen to the cheer, listen to the roar, and he's held up on the post. The post is swaying in the breeze. He's going to play it back to Hood, who puts it left to Drinkwater, all the way over the top to Liam Kay. It's a stroll in for Liam Kay, and Leigh have finally broken the deadlock. 4 points to 0. What a ball from Drinkwater. 20 metres lofty pass out to the left hand side.
Not just the ability to throw that ball, but what vision to see him out wide on his own unmarked. Liam Kay held his run this time and was managed to get that perfectly, and also bring it 10 metres close to the post for a slightly easier conversion. But what a ball from Josh Drinkwater.
Yeah, and all that comes from, your Harris and Hanson, your Fui taking the drives in, sucking the defenders closer to the middle of the field. And as we all know that Liam Kay likes to hug the touchline, which is what he did, and he managed to get infield about 8, 9, 10 metres to make the kick for Travis Burns a bit easier. But Liam will like that, scoring a try. He's not scored as many this season as he has in the previous couple of seasons, but after all that pressure which Rovers had on our line, Dave, we say it's 24 minutes in now, and that's the first score in the game.
4 points to nil, kick to come here, and it's Travis Burns continuing. He's kicked 3 from 3 last week. I don't want to jinx him. Let's hope he can convert. He can. It's 6 points to nil. His 4th goal for the club, and Travis Burns has made it 6 points to nil thanks to that try from Liam Kay and the pass from Josh Drinkwater. Now just looking at my stats here, and that is Liam Kay's 8th try of the season. Not quite as prolific as his last couple of terms, but I tell you what, if he holds his line like that for the rest of the game, he could end up with a couple more his way, couldn't he?
Yeah, because they are pretty forward orientated. I know that Darryl Griffin, and there's just another substitution coming on there, John Sharp bringing the changes, but as Rob said, Liam Kay had oceans of space on that left edge then, so we did our job. Our forwards, our core forwards, sucked the Featherstone team in as the kick-off takes place. Bit of a flap of that, the ball ends up in Fui's hands.
Yeah, charges back well towards the 20 metre line. Got some scores from the Championship for you at the moment. Dewsbury 14, Oldham 0, 6-0 here, Swinton 0, London Broncos 12, and Workington 6, Bradford 18. It's going your way at the moment. Or did you tip Swinton to win? No, you tipped London to win, didn't you?
Yeah.
So it is going in your favour. It's going in Leigh's favour, this one at the moment. There is Worthington down the left hand side, been playing well recently. Still put down that left hand side. Rennie Mature with the charge to the halfway line. We appear to have got a bit of interference in our lines for a second. That's a scrappy pass to the middle. Weston flicks it up. It's been intercepted here by Bostock. Bostock offloads to Ellis. Ellis gets within 20 of the try line. They've invited Featherstone back. That should have just been a completion and a kick downfield. But Bostock has it from dummy half again. He takes a drive, gets within 10 metres of the line. He's a good forward, Bostock, and he's won a penalty for his side as well.
Dane Weston tagged on to that tackle, and he had no way that he made the 10 metres back. So not only did he throw a woeful pass, he's also given a penalty away, and Featherstone re-tap it on Leigh's 10 metre line. Great tackle from Harrison Hanson then. Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen, we're just having a bit of a gremlin interference. The ball comes out wide, and one of Dave's mates there, Anthony Thackeray, show and go, but nobody takes that dummy. Fui tackles him right on the line as Ellis jumps into acting half back. The ball goes out wide to Craven, and it's ended up in Leigh's hands, and the referee has given a knock on, I'm thinking.
How's he given a knock on for that when it bounced out of Liam Kay's?
Bounced out of Liam Kay's hand and
into Greg Worthington's chest, who was behind him?
Yeah, so anyway, as we said, Rob, he's a bit closer than what we are, but again, that's a scrum down for Featherstone, about 11 metres, 12 metres from our line. More pressure for Leigh. Featherstone having all the ball. Just to say, boys and girls, we're just redoing some wiring here. Our technician is working. And referee, I thought he was going to give another penalty then. But Leigh are certainly holding out. Featherstone are knocking away at our door here, trying to score, trying to bring the scores level. The ball goes out wide again.
Davis is caught 5 metres away from the line. So they're going again at Featherstone. They're going to score from dummy half. That is Andy Ellis just diving forward. And the referee has awarded the score 6 points to 4. Featherstone have made that spell of pressure count. Leigh only have themselves to blame though. Trying to play a bit of offload game inside their own 40 when it should be a completion off the back of the try. Yeah,
and I can see that Fui and Dane Weston. Dane's having a bit of a nightmare today. He got that knock early on. Give a couple of suspect passes, and as you said, Dave, he tried to throw the ball over his shoulder and nobody was looking, and Featherstone picked the ball up and continued this pressure. So at the moment, it's 28 minutes in, Leigh Centurion 6, Featherstone 4, but they've got this kick to come, and I think that's that Jamie Foster, who's a pretty decent goal kicker. He's going to be taking this conversion attempt for Featherstone.
Just watching as Weston and Moimoi both leave the pitch. Weston's actually gone down the tunnel, so whether he's back still struggling from that earlier challenge in the game, it'll be interesting to see. But just as Jamie Foster's lining this up, it's an interesting one, because what we've seen is Leigh Centurions defend very well, and suddenly they've just let that slip just a little bit coming into this, as Jamie Foster bounces the kick off the upright. So it's Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 4, so Leigh Centurions still hold that slender 2-point lead. What I was going to say is Leigh Centurions have suddenly let the defence slip a little bit, and it's allowed Featherstone Rovers straight back into the game. Yeah,
they've invited them, to do their own thing in our danger zone, and as you said, Rob, Dane Weston straight down into the dressing room area, and Lee Smith restarts. That's a bit of a flapper kick, but Thackeray regathers, and 4 men in the lead tackle there. I know we've all three of us said about this containment, which we've got to continue this containment, and let's see a bit of rugby in this right edge here.
Would be nice. Featherstone Rovers pushing forward. They've been buoyed certainly by that try. 30 metres away from their own line, just the right hand side of the centre of the field. Comes down the middle again. Just trying to see, is that Knowles tag underneath that one? He's going to stand up. It's Almonroyd actually. He's going to play that back to Craven. Craven puts it right to Thackeray, who drops it back looking for this. Is Knowles tag now, just over his own 40 metre line, 20 metres in from touch. Last tackle signalled by referee Ansell. Ball to the middle and Craven's taking charge of the kicking game, and he's sent this one long in behind Adam Higson, who'll pick it up 5 metres from his own line. Faces a stern wall in front of him. Leigh still have the advantage, 6-4 in this one. But it's anything but comfortable at the moment for the Centurions, as Leigh Smith takes a dipping pass. I don't think he'll thank Tom Armstrong for that one.
No, I don't think he will. And Ben Evans and Sam Hopkins have replaced Fui and Dane Weston there. So Ben Evans, who's here from Warrington on loan, he's getting a taste of Championship rugby as Leigh trying to attack down our left edge.
Yeah, it was the right centre Armstrong drifting all the way over to the left hand side as Liam Kay takes a tumble for his trouble on the 40 metre line. Plays it quickly to Hood, who passes infield to Hopkins. Good run from Sam to get to the halfway line. Ben Evans looking for his first drive, but it goes the other side to Josh Drinkwater. He puts a kick in, which was cut off at the pass by Kieran Johnson inside his own 20, but that's stern defence from the Centurions to wrap him up on that 20 metre line and just drag him behind it. Here's Cordin looking to make an impact. Straight into the chest there, a barrel chest of Sam Hopkins. Off the deck from Craven. Ouch, that tackle's got hurt.
Certainly. Cora Patterson right round the knees, and Harrison Hansen finishing off up above.
Foster didn't know what to do other than take the tumble. This is Colton Roach. Onto the floor he goes. Back turned as well. Great tackle by Hood. Dominated him. Kick comes in from the 40 metre line by Craven. Played it off the boot of Leigh Smith, who runs it back, tries to initiate an attack, but no one was up for him.
So Travis Burns drops in and says to Tom Armstrong, you take one away and try and get a bit wider, but he straightens up and goes straight back, trying to get behind the play of the ball, where sometimes I think there is a bit of a gap.
And here's Ben Evans' first touch for the Centurions, and he's put down by the halfway line by Colton Roach, and Andy Ellis with the tackle. He's put left to Worthington, once upon a time a Featherstone player, remember, had 4 seasons with them.
That was good direct running, that though, from Greg Worthington. He saw that there was a bit of lateral running from Leigh Centurions, and he decided to straighten up as Hansen slings it out the back to Burns, who finds Patterson. Patterson puts on the brakes and attracts 3 players, and then takes a tackle, but wins the penalty as well, because the referee had said that the tackle was completed and the Featherstone players just continued with the contact.
That was a harebrained penalty to give away from Featherstone Rovers' point of view. The tackle was completed all the way, and all they did was they just went and ruined it by spinning him round.
That's true, and Corey will be aiming for a big game because he got concussed over at Featherstone and didn't take any further part. As the ball, as you said, goes back into Ben Evans. He takes it straight at the heart of the Featherstone defenders, about 5 metres away from the right upright, as Sam Hopkins, a good drive again. He's only a couple of metres away there. Quick play of the ball.
And it's put right to Burns. Burns misses out a man. It goes to Patterson. Patterson's over the line.
Forward
pass against him. No try on this occasion. So if you think Leigh have had 2 tries wiped out with officials' intervention, I'm not saying whether they were right or wrong, but certainly the North stand seems to suggest that was a try.
Yeah, I think it was the way that Corey came on the ball and Travis Burns just delayed it, probably 3 or 4 seconds, but all those people behind, I know they're biased, but they can't all be wrong. And we've even got the water carrier. Who is he to tell the referee what's happening? Unbelievable.
Has the ref sent him off, or has he just run off before he gets in trouble?
Run off. He was just telling the referee something. I'm not quite sure what he was saying.
There's a big tackle on
They can't even make a substitution at a scrum anyway. I don't know what he's on about.
They just have done. Forward come Rovers now through Ormond Roy. They're just 20 metres away from their own line, but that'll help because Leigh have conceded a penalty. So Featherstone with the 4th penalty.
Yeah, it's 5-4 at the moment. I can't believe that trainer was allowed on the field and dictating. You can't make a substitution while the scrum is being formed. As soon as the scrum breaks up, then he can make a substitution. So I don't even know what he's on about. He should have been told to get off the field by the official.
Just a few minutes to go until half time. 6-4 in favour of the Centurions, but Rovers on the charge and over the halfway line through Davis. There's a head collision there from a Leigh player. Oh, and then that won't help because Sam Hopkins has nearly stood all over him as well.
Yeah, both players, like you said, I think it was just a clash of heads for both players there. So the referee does stop the game because both players are feeling a bit groggy in that one.
I'm just trying to see who it is who's down for
Liam Hudd.
Is it Liam Hudd?
Yeah.
So 6-4 the score here. Whilst we've got this stoppage in play, let's have a few more updates of scores from around the championship. So currently it's Dewsbury 20, Oldham 0, Swinton 0, London 18, still Workington 6, Bradford 18, and if you're interested in Super League, Huddersfield 0, Wakefield 2. League 1, Crusaders 10, Keighley 18. At half-time, it's Hemel and Gloucestershire all goals, with Gloucestershire winning 2018. 16 all between Newcastle and Toulouse. 24-0 to Doncaster against South Wales. And 12 apiece between York City Knights and Hunslet Hawks.
Good stuff, yeah. So I can see Harrison Hanson being replaced by Brad Fashion. Ben Reynolds has come on to replace Liam Hudd, who's groggily. He's actually going down into the...
that'll be the 15-minute head assessment period that they've got, just to make sure, under the new concussion laws, it's concussion's not a nice thing, so making sure he's safe, making sure he's well.
Bostock with a good run down the middle. Now the switching play down the left-hand side to Spears. No way he can pierce the defence, but he's 30 metres away from the try line, 15 metres in from touch, plays it to Ward, who passes inside to Colton Roach. Interesting career from Colton Roach. Was with Sheffield a couple of years ago. Didn't really happen for him. Looking to reinvent himself as he slacked Gray on the right hand side with Craven. Craven dabbing the kick through. Lee Smith just covering over the top of that one.
Yeah,
kick
really well then, Lee.
Deep.
He could have panicked and tried and kick the ball out, but he safely saw it over the dead ball line. So Liam Kay comes out, taps the ball, restarts.
That's better from Liam Kay. That's what he was so good at last season, getting away quickly from that area. Did all right too. Now it's in the middle with Adam Higson. Higson over the 30-metre line. He'll now look to play this to Reynolds. It's on the right hand side with Burns. Burns goes for a 40-20. Has he got it? No, he's out on the full. Sailed that one out on the full. The margins, such small margins.
They are, aren't they? And I think he took a bit of a whack for that then, did Travis Burns. So again, Featherstone on the ascendancy, and the scrum will be on the 40-metre line.
I think they've had the better of this half, to be honest, Joe.
They've certainly had more ball and more field possession, haven't they? You know, we haven't really had much ball in good areas of the field, but at the moment we're winning 6 points to 4 on Leigh Centurions TV and Mixler.com.
So Thackeray with the put in at the scrum on the 40 metre line. They'll work a move with Briggs to Thackeray, out to the right hand side with Craven. He dots it back on the inside looking for Hardman, who straightened up and came onto that one like a train, but so too was a tackle from Rennie Matua. Now this is Ormonroyd.
I think Sam Hopkins is dislocated a finger or something. He's holding his right hand there. He's done something a bit crucial as he's trying to run out again, and he'll have to engage in that tackle, which he does.
Yeah, and wrestles Colton Roach to the floor, just inside the 30 metre line though. Robbie Ward at dummy half, passes to his right hand side to Bostock. Lovely soft hands between him and Ormonroyd.
It's
a one-on-one steal. Rennie Matua has it. Tries to reel away from Thackeray, and Thackeray drags him in. Leigh with the ball back though, 20 metres from their own line. Here's Brad Fash, been really good since he's joined Leigh. It's no wonder he's been awarded another contract with Hull. Ben Reynolds in at dummy half, passes left for Worthington. Tries to get away from a couple of defenders. That's a bit of a blind alley between him and Hardman though. Plays it quickly. Oh, it's been knocked on by Liam Kay. Awful mistake from Liam Kay.
Yeah, I was just watching him back play there. Sam Hopkins has left the field and a bit of a rush job that, you know. I think he's gone to the doctor, so Fui's going to have to come back on the field sooner than probably we expected. In fact, he has also gone straight down the dressing room, so probably a finger or two out, and they'll be trying to put that back in place, which is a bit painful for Sam. So Fui's not had as long a rest break as he would have expected.
Certainly character building, picking up these injuries just before half time, isn't it?
It certainly is. But it also does.
Great tackle on Carding. Ball's gone loose. Leigh have it. It's Armstrong. Armstrong cutting back on the inside, getting to the halfway line. Good work, Tom Armstrong. Leigh Smith at dummy half, passes infield to Burns. Burns releases it to Fash. Fash takes the head high tackle, and the referee hasn't given anything at all. Bostock's all over him as well. Quick play of the ball. Here's Reynolds running forward from dummy half. Good yards from him to the 30 metre line down centre field. Can Leigh make it count before the break? Referee just tells him to get up. Here's Burns on the right hand side, links with Leigh Smith. That looked like it was improvised, but Leigh Smith dancing around, gets it back inside. Reynolds has put it down, and it's gone into the hands of Featherstone Rovers, and they've knocked it on as well.
I looked a couple of times there should have been penalties coming Leigh's way, but you ride your luck, and unfortunately though we just spilled the ball, and a good position for Leigh, because it's not often that we've been in their half and had this kind of field position.
Yeah, and on the Joe Wood stopwatch we're 40 minutes are up, so at the moment it's a scrum down about 22 metres from Featherstone line with a score Leigh Centurion 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
Toughest teak game this. Down the right hand side it's fed from this scrum, and Hardman has it for Featherstone. Bent over awkwardly in a tackle, but he'll rise and play it to Robbie Ward, who gets it on the inside to Colton Roach, who bashes and barges his way through just over the 30 metre line, made about 5 or 6 metres belligerently. Comes to the middle and Bostock, who feeds it left with Briggs onto Spears into that 3-man lead
there's
challenge.
Some kneeing in the head going on there, but the referee obviously doesn't
Briggs
pick it up.
Back inside, good tackle there on Craven. Fash doing the job.
He'll thank him for that inside ball, won't he, old Danny Craven?
Thackeray again turns an inside ball, this time the way of Bostock, but he is the meat in the Leigh sandwich, just inside the Leigh half. Last tackle signalled. Ball's going to be kicked to the right wing as far as Robbie Ward is concerned, but Liam Kay's picked it up. He's on the kick return and he's wrapped up by 3. Made about 5 or 6 metres though. Can Leigh prosper just before the break? He's in the middle of the field with Worthington, tries to bash and barge his way through. Made about 6 or 7 metres, hard fought metres as well. It's a slow play of the ball. Reynolds to his right hand side to Ben Evans, does well to work his way towards the halfway line. You had a couple of stats on Ben Evans, didn't you, before the game, Rob?
Yeah, he's played 22 times for Warrington since 2011, and he had a year loan at Bradford in 2013 where he made 17 appearances. He's only scored 3 tries in his career.
Here's Rennie Matua on the left, turns it back inside for Leigh Smith, and that was a high shot which came his way.
Yeah,
then by
very suspect. In fact, he's actually given it, Dave, so I think I'd be tempted to.
Would you take the 2 points here?
I think I would, because there can't be many minutes left. I mean, we don't have any control over the time, but at the moment it's 42 minutes on Joe's stopwatch, and I think the referee is having a quick word with it'll be the Featherstone captain about some of these, shall we say, suspect high shots. Rob, you've commented as that should have been a penalty, that should have been a penalty, so he's having a word and he's telling the Leigh team as well. And I think because Sean First is on with a kicking tea and a water bottle, I think we are going to hopefully try and get the 2 points off Travis Burns' boot.
To be fair, they're not really set though, Featherstone Rovers. You could take a quick dart and run 20 metres here.
Yeah, you could, but I think they've already elected to...
once the kicking tee's on the field, you're actually supposed to then go for goal, but sometimes we see that rule bent a bit. To put it kindly.
To put it kindly, yeah.
So Burns has this opportunity of further points for the Centurions. He's back, 34 metres away from the try line. Directly in front of the post, just needs to keep his nerve. Strikes it, and it's wide. And the hooter sounds. So he had the opportunity of making it 8-4 at the break, did Travis Burns, but he's missed with the penalty attempt, and it remains an advantage to the Centurions by 6 points to 4. This game sort of ebbed and flowed its way, didn't it, until the 23rd minute when Drinkwater released a pass on the left hand side for Liam Kay to sail over unopposed. He was able to improve the angle for Burns to convert, and then Leigh invited Featherstone back at them with Ellis scoring a sucker punch try from dummy half.
Yeah, we have been our own worst enemies, as Rob said. Dane Weston was the guilty party, throw the pass back inside, not really looking where it went. I think it was Bostock who picked it up, and resultant pressure, as you said, they got the 4 points, and thankfully Jamie Foster missed the attempted conversion. So at the end of this first period, it's Leigh Centurions 6, Featherstone Rovers 4.
We'll be back after the break and let us know your thoughts on that first half, and we'll try and read the ones which don't have swearing out in the second.
Did you not see Brad Fast getting kneed in the head in that tackle? Did you not see it?
On top of the forward, the forward was like kicking his leg.
I didn't try.
Hello and welcome back to second half coverage from Leigh Sports Village in this Kingstone Press Championship encounter. It's the first one at home for quite some time, and Leigh not having it all their own way. It's 6 points to 4 in favour of the Centurions at half time, with Leigh, unlike in previous games, not attacking the north stand and bringing it home. They're playing to the away fans that are sat in the south stand. I'm alongside Joe Wood, and Joe, your thoughts on the first half as we get underway again?
Well, we both just mentioned here that we haven't been at our best. Travis Burns hasn't been as influential in this half as he was in the second half over at Whiteham. But you've just said John Sharp is just coming up to take his position near us. He's come with a game plan for Featherstone, and up to the first 40 minutes it's worked. They've slowed us down, and the referees allowing them to do various tactics in the tackle and so on. So if they're getting away with it, the ball's gone loose and the referee says play on again, which probably rightfully so, and probably he will be the happier of the two coaches, even though they're losing 6 points to 4. The game's just reset in this second period, and Featherstone will be taking it back.
Bostock in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's Bostock.
They've gone through their entire set of 6, so fairly solid start to the second half by Rovers, and Briggs put his kick in under some intense pressure there from Patterson. He's down with Lee Smith on his own 20 metre line. He brought it to the middle of the field, then thought he'd have a little swish off to the right hand side, and that's where he's caught by Bostock and Spears. Long ball from Kay to find Armstrong. He's running cross field, he's going backwards. Bit more forward please, Tom, if you can. He's played it to Adam Hickson. Adam Hickson puts it left to Rennie Matua, once upon a time a Featherstone player, of course, last season. Wrapped up by 2. Roach and Hardman doing the tackling there. It's taken in by Hickson to get beyond his own 40 metre line, and by the look of this set that Leigh are coming up with, It's very similar to what we saw in the first half, but Leigh do bring it down the right hand side. Patterson is caught highly, in my opinion, inside his own half.
That's been debatable all along.
It's Burns onto Armstrong, who threads it down the wing, and it goes into touch just on the 20-metre line. I suppose, despite its scruffy start to the set, it's quite a good outcome, that, isn't it, Rob?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to look over at the subs bench, see if who's emerged, and if we've got Sam Hopkins, Dane Weston and Liam Mudd back. I think I can see Harrison Hansen milling around over there, and I think Liam Mudd's returned, but still no sign of Dane Weston and Sam Hopkins, but I'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, it was a scruffy start to the set, like you said, but it was a nice little kick from Grubber to find touch from Tom Armstrong when he saw that we were on the fifth tackle. So, you know, it's good game management from the centre, and it's a good position to be starting a defensive set for Leigh Centurions.
Now, Ian McDonald has said on Mixler, we seem to be a forward orientated team now. There doesn't seem to be the same pace in the backs as we were seeing last season. Is that justified?
Not really, because we're virtually the same back line. All right, Greg McNally's not playing at the moment. The ball comes free there.
Good tackling from Leigh down the middle.
Lee Smith dropped in at full back, so you know that's a first swap. Other than that, I think that Martin Ridyard and Ryan Briley had pace to burn, but young Josh Drinkwater's and Travis Burns might not be the fastest, but he's probably like for like in Martin Ridyard's case, so I must disagree with Ian there.
There's a little bit of confusion here with this scrum as to who was going where. Travis Burns eventually feeds it out on the left hand side with Rennie Mature, who picks up Josh Drinkwater, who puts it left again to Lee Smith, who big handoff came in and he managed to get over the 30-metre line. The ball has gone loose. It's a knock on against Lee Smith. He complains bitterly, but that's an error on the very first tackle.
Yeah, it's not what we're expected of Leigh Centurions, and by the look and the stance of Lee Smith, I think he was probably right, the referee. Normally in circumstances like that you'd think that there has been some hands in, so Featherstone will form the scrum just short of the 30-metre line, and it's their head and feet.
And they've got possession. It's with Kieran Johnson, the young winger, who's barrelled back. Good tackle from Patterson. Now Craven moves it to the left hand side to Cordin. He had a solid first half. Been playing mainly in the second row over the course of the season, but into the centres today. Now Spears goes nowhere. Cut off there by 3 Leigh players. Reynolds strongly tackling. Now Bostock plays it out to Briggs, who plays it at the front man, Colton Roach, who manages to pick up a bit of second impact and gets to the halfway line. Fufu the last man to get up. Ball put right. Kick comes in from Thackeray. It's a deep one. Bounces once, twice, 3 times. It'll stop that in the in-goal area.
That
Great
is a good kick, isn't it?
And Lee Smith has work to do, but does it effectively. Gets it 5 metres away from his line. Liam Kay in at rugby half. Passes in field to Greg Worthington. Knew he was going to get smashed, but he still makes it to the 10. But a real chance here for Featherstone to turn up the defensive pressure on the Centurions. Here's Liam Kay running into the middle. Only making 5 or 6 metres. In fact, he'll make more. He'll make 10. He'll make 11. He'll make 12. He'll make 15. Better run from Liam Kay. 20 metres off his wing. He'll play 25 out from his own line. A long ball to the right hand side to Burns, who steps and steps again and manages to extradite himself from the situation. He's still going, gets an offload away to Fuifu Moimoi down the middle. He's down the middle, he's over halfway line. Great running from Fuifu Moimoi. Quick play the ball to Reynolds. It's out right with Burns. Burns on to Evans. It's been knocked on by Featherstone Rovers.
Well, that's play on then, referee.
Referee's deemed a knock-on against Leigh. That's a knock-on from Featherstone, though. There was a Featherstone interception there. How the devil have they got away with that one? Joe Wood, you look as strange.
That was an unbelievable decision by Mr. Ansell. The Leigh player did pass to the Featherstone player who knocked on, and Leigh regathered, so to me that would have been back to 1. Well, yeah, no wonder the North Stand shout you don't know what you're doing to the referee, but well,
Featherstone riding the look. 6-4 it is. They're really in an arm wrestle of a game. So are the Centurions. Well, it's been a while since they've called one so close.
Yeah, it has. And as we said at the beginning of this second half, Featherstone have come with a game plan, and up to now they're executing it really, really well.
That's a good tackle on Ormonroyd, but he's got to quick play the ball away. Thackeray feeds it to Davis. That did look forward. And again, the referee has got a really late call from his touch judge before actually awarding the decision.
Yeah, and I can see Paul Anderson's coming onto the field. He's trying to get some organisation into the ranks, and I don't know if he's after making a substitution. As like Rob said, I don't think we've got a great deal of substitutions left. I think Liam Hudd's just gone down the tunnel again and took his vest off and gone down with the doctor, so he must still be feeling a bit groggy from that.
Well, Weston is out and does have his high vis vest on, so it looks like he's still available as a substitution, but that still only gives us 2. This game,
in fact, we've just done on the Harrison Hansen replaced René Matua.
Here's Brad Fast through the middle. Armstrong took the first run of the set. Reynolds at dummy half, works it right to Fui My. Great run again. Belting surge, takes 4 players to put him down.
And that's about the 5th person that he's barrelled over. If they can get a fast play the ball off that, they could really
Burns
open up this Featherstone
left
side.
With Drinkwater, further left with Lee Smith, onto Liam Kay, has to step back in field. He's being escorted towards the touchline again, but it does well to remain on the field of play. Plays it to Worthington, infield to Drinkwater, long ball to Burns in the middle, steps, brings it left again to Harrison Hansen, who steps
Good
past
step. Go Hicks!
Harrison Hansen inside the 20, inside the 10, put down brilliantly there by Craven. Quick play the ball. Here's Reynolds diving for the line. Reynolds for the try line. He's going to be adjudged to be held up, and there's a Featherstone man who's down on his back in the background. I think that's Ormonroyd, who managed to get absolutely pole-like, trying to bring down Harrison Hansen with. What a break that was from Harrison.
Yeah, really good. And I can see Fui stood in the middle. I don't know if Fui is injured or whether he was just trying to attract attention to the Featherstone player.
I think he's just regaining his breath a little bit after that surging run from before, because he did have 4 on his back, and that's going to take it out of you. I think Ben Reynolds did maybe had the wrong option. I saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to catch the Featherstone defence out, but Liam Kay was in 20 metres of space on the left, and I'm pretty sure Higson was in the same amount of room on the right as well, because Featherstone was struggling to get back. It was an opportunity that's almost gone again for Leigh. They are starting this set now 5 metres away from the Featherstone line. They've got a good defensive effort to put here, and if they can return the next set that they get with interest and get close to this line again, we can actually start seeing Leigh start to take control of this game, because that's what they've struggled at the minute. They've not had control of this game, and that is something very rare.
Now, the referee's ruled a hand over here.
Must have been, Featherstone last tackle, so
Featherstone have the ball. Ormonroyd's being guided off the field. Referee just watching him go, and a replacement has been brought on from Featherstone Rovers. Eventually, I'm sure we'll get underway again.
The Featherstone fans are having a go at the referee for making sure that their own player gets off the pitch safely.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
That's Yorkshire fans for you.
Ward rolled over on his back. He'll play it 5 metres from his own line. Now Bostock, good forward this lad. Up to the 10 metre line.
Yeah, we've got to be good here. We've got to be squeaky clean in the tackles and restrict them.
That's a good tackle on Baldwin. So he's lost the ball. Oh, there's a penalty. That's gone against the Centurions here. Well, Reynolds dived on it, only to be told he's in an offside position. And they're riding the luck here, Featherstone.
Harrison riding the luck. Asking the referee what that decision was. Was it a call from that touch judge on the west stand, or he's not signalled what the decision was, David?
He said offside. He's given offside. So whether at the because it was like
not
square at marker, possibly. I don't know.
Like you said, they're riding the luck of Featherstone.
You're asking me to investigate the mind of a referee. It's impossible. 6 points to 4 the score. Featherstone in possession. Featherstone trailing by 2, and that's a massive hit Fui My on Jordan Baldwinson, but he did well to recover there, did the Leeds youngster, who plays it back to Ward, who puts it right to Thackeray, who drops it back to Bostock. Bostock searching downfield. He's going towards the 30 metre line. He's just controlled in front of that mark. Ward puts it left. Briggs through the hands to Spears. He's brought it right back down the middle. He's offloaded. looking for Bostock, no space for Bostock to work in. He slipped the ball out. Surely the tackle was complete. Comes in field to Colton Roach. Roach goes forward. He's grounded 10 metres from the lead line. They're rolling forward at the moment, though, Featherstone Rovers, and it's looking interesting for the Centurions, but this will help because Colton Roach has picked up an injury. So that'll just slow everything down, and to be honest, Leigh need that more than Featherstone at this stage.
Just look and see what the referees, the water carriers, come streaming onto the field, and is there's a bit of blood there for the Featherstone player? I can't quite see, but
that's what Sam Ansell was checking as well, the ref. The North Stand building up its noise, appreciating the defensive efforts. Can the Leigh defence hold? Can Rovers come up with a try which will put them in front? Robbie Ward at dummy half. He'll put it left. Long ball out to Briggs. Briggs short past for Cordin back on the inside, but Fash blocks that momentum, as does Ben Evans. On the left, it's switched to Briggs again, puts a little kick through it, benches up in favour of Armstrong. Good reaction speed then from Armstrong. Quick play the ball. Here's Higson. Sends it into the middle with Reynolds, who tries to step around Thackeray. He's got through. How did he get through there? But he's up and stopped on his 28 metres from his own line. Burns to his left hand side to Drinkwater. On to Harrison Anson, who tries to bounce through the tackles, heading towards the 40 metre line of the Centurions on this left hand side. It's a slow play the ball.
The referee actually indicated then that Harrison Anson was holding him in, and
here's Higson.
Yeah, I think he's lost it, this referee, at the moment.
Burns
needs to gain control.
Head-eye shot on Burns.
He's given it, this touch judge is on. He's given it, finally, a bit of sense by the referee, because there has been some really, really borderline high shots, and he's given it.
I think that was Robbie Ward who hit him, wasn't it?
The better thing about that penalty is you get a double effect to that, because it's where the ball bounces. So Leigh are now 20 metres away with a penalty.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Colton Roach is really, really struggling in the background here for Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah. That's the player who was receiving treatment before, Dave, isn't it?
Yeah,
Colton
Travis
Roach.
Burns getting a patch-up job done as well. He's tough. He's Travis. He's got to be with tackles like that in his way.
Flipping heck. Certainly a bell ringer, that one.
Notice Dane Weston's back on.
Yes, he's just replaced Fui, because Fui's done longer minutes than normal, and I can see Renan Matua's he's prowling, waiting to, because with Liam Mudd and Sam Hopkins, it's restricting our substitutions, isn't it?
So we have this penalty 20 metres away from the Featherstone line. That's where the ball touched the deck. Fash takes the first drive, angles it towards the post. 12 metres away from the posts are the Centurions. Reynolds to his left. Ben Evans. We had his brother Reese here on loan a few years ago, and he'll play it 10 metres from the line. Reynolds to his left hand side, on to Harrison Anson. Lovely little interplay to him from Lee Smith. Reynolds at dummy half again. Drinkwater, lovely ball onto Worthington. Worthington's through. It's a try for the Centurions. Lovely short interplay between those two players. It worked a treat last week for the last try at Whitehaven. They've repeated that play.
Yeah, very much so.
And Worthington has his second try of the season.
He didn't double pump this time, did Josh? But just the pressure and a great ball. He's not been as prominent, Josh, because as Ian McDonald said, forward orientated, but I think we're only playing what we can do in front of us. But when we get these opportunities, Josh showed his skill to give Greg, as you said, his second try of the campaign, and he'll love scoring against his old club, Featherstone Rovers. But I'm really a bit concerned about some of the plays which the referees are allowing to go away. As you know, at the end of the day, the player welfare is our prime concern. And
now this is interesting as well. Look at what Paul Cook's done. He's come down off the Leigh bench. He's had a word with all three of his playmakers there, as Burns sends this across the face of the post, and it's 1 from 3 and 10 points to 4, more importantly to the Centurions. So he's unable to convert it, but the gap's up to 6 points.
Yeah, and we're 16 minutes into this second period, and the North Stand, as Rob said a couple of times previously, trying to lift everybody, and we're just at the moment, I think we've only got one sub on the bench, which is Fui. So Featherstone restart, kick deep towards the north stand.
And that's where Smith took it in. And he's launched Ben Evans back into contact. Oh, wow, he does well there, Evans, to reach the 10-metre line.
He did, didn't he?
3 Featherstone players hunting everything but his postcode, I think, then. 15 metres away from our own line here of the Centurions. Fash plays it back to Reynolds. He puts it left to Drinkwater. Lovely soft hands there for Harrison Hanson, but 3 Featherstone players block his way. Leigh just over their own 20-metre line. Could do with a 40-20 here, dare I say it, from Travis Burns possibly, as it's trucked forward to the 30 by Weston. Now it's brought to the middle with Fash again with a second drive. Good yards as well, just over the 40-metre line. Burns is on that right hand side. It's put left out to Drinkwater. Drinkwater dabs it over the top. It's a long kick in behind Kieran Johnson, who allows it to bounce, and then the bounce just favours him. And then he fires it back into the middle with Craven, and Craven puts it further wide to Foster. Foster didn't want to know, but he's flicked it away to Craven. It's opened a bit of open space in front of Craven, who's down the field. He's over the 30s towards the 40, and Smith wrapped him up. Play the ball from Craven. It's out on the right hand side now with Kieran Johnson. Johnson's over the halfway line. Tackle comes in from Leigh Smith again, who got hands in. He's conceded the penalty there, and he had to. I think he had to, because Leigh was so splintered.
Yeah,
across the field.
The line had been broken by 2 or 3 quick play the balls by Featherstone, and they've got the ball now, and they're going to put it into this right hand edge by Carl Briggs. We've not heard him mentioned for a time or two, but I know he's very dangerous when he gets ball in hand, this Carl Briggs.
He is. Darryl Griffin taking a run through the middle for Featherstone Rovers. 22 metres away from the try line of Rovers. First bit of decent field position they've had for a while. Baldwinson takes the next drive. Forward pass was the call from the Leigh fans in the north stand. Robbie Ward at dummy half brings it right to Briggs. Long ball out to Thackeray. Short pass then to his right hand side, finds Davis, who's inside the 10. Referee calls for them to get up and play the ball, but there's a knock on there from Davis, and that is like manna from heaven, Rob.
I was just about to say, that's as good as a try. That it doesn't matter where you are in the field. If you can force a knock on when the pressure's going a little bit against you, the momentum's not going your way, that's as good as a try. That keeps your 6-point lead safe, and Leigh Centurions now can work on an exit set and get back down in Featherstone half and Featherstone territory, hopefully.
Tell you what, there's some interesting scores developing elsewhere, you know. Huddersfield 2, Wakefield 4, so no tries in that one. We were talking about no try games before, weren't we?
Yeah, we was, yeah.
Dewsbury 28, Oldham 6, Swinton 10, London Broncos 24, and Workington Town 24, Bradford Bulls 18. Leigh in possession, 10 metres from their own line. Referee calls held. Darryl Griffin has a go at Liam Kay afterwards. We've got some buffering on the line there for a second, but Leigh still in possession, 15 metres from their own line.
And that's a short 10 he's giving them too, you know, Dave.
It's Patterson driving down that right hand side. Quick play the ball. Reynolds opens it out for Burns, who drops it back for Fash. Leigh still in behind their own 40-metre line. Reynolds picks up, kicks. It's a long one, angled towards the corner.
That's all right. As Rob said, we're better off down there.
That was a metre and a half short of the 40-20.
Yeah, just short of the 40-20.
Just looking at the bench there, Dave said it's Fui. We've got Fui, and I think we've Renema 2. I think those are the only 2 fit and able subs. So Neil's going to have to be, really counting the subs, and we're 20 minutes into this second half, so we've still 20 minutes left.
We've had a recount at Workington, by the way. It's 22-18, not 24-18 like you might have heard before. Dewsbury Rams have gone further in front, 34 points to 6 they now lead. And Featherstone have the ball inside their own 20-metre line. There's Cording, all wrapped up by 2 Leigh defenders. Evans and Reynolds doing the tackling there. Forward comes Colton Roach to get beyond his own 30-metre line. It's a real scrappy piece of play there. Referee goes in to try and make sure that there's no fighting.
Yeah, Dane Weston's really annoyed at something there. Can't see which player it was who was involved, but
and the referee has got to sort it all out, so he's sending the Leigh players back 5 or 10 metres. He's telling Colton Roach to come to him. He's going to have a chat with Dane Weston first of all, though.
Yeah, it was something. He was really annoyed at that, was Dane. Whether he's grabbed some part of Dane's body as he shouldn't do, or something like that. Or the other thing is biting, isn't it? You know,
he looks like he's going to give the penalty here to Featherstone. And it would be fair to say this referee is, well, he's lost this game for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, he's lost it. Craven puts the penalty out on the right hand side, kicking towards us in the main stand. Well, we call it our main stand anyway. It's Baldwinson running forward for Featherstone. He's got it 30 metres away from the lead line. Ellis is back on for Rovers. He'll put it left to Griffin. Griffin takes the big hit. On the edge of the 20 metre line now of Featherstone Rovers. Baldwinson takes the next carry to go inside the 20. Leigh wrap him up. Davis is calling for something down the right hand side. Featherstone are going to get another penalty though. Dane Weston conceded another penalty there.
Yeah, but I think he had hold of the player, and the player was trying to still moving, so it's up to the referee to call L, but it's just more pressure on the Leigh line.
Ellis taps, here goes Colton Roach, tries to go right over the top of the Leigh player. He's used his elbow there, and yet the referee has deemed there's another penalty, this time going to Featherstone, and has some ugly scenes as the two packs wrestle with one another. I thought he lifted the elbow as he ran in, to be fair.
I think he's penalised Leigh yet again. We'll await the outcome of that. As you say, everybody joins in, and I think there was a bit concerned. I would definitely agree with you, Dave. The high shot on Brad Fast. Thankfully, he's on his feet. But you just said 2 or 3 minutes ago this referee's lost it, and I don't think he's getting any help from his touch judges. But this is this is where the game gets dragged down to the lower ends of it. He's stopped the clock. He's having a chat with both his officials.
Still 10-4 in case you're wondering. 2 tries from the Centurions this afternoon from Liam Kay and Greg Worthington. The 1 goal from Travis Burns, and we've had a try from dummy half by Ellis for Featherstone. The referee will have words with the Leigh skipper Harrison Hanson and with Dane Weston. It's a lengthy report, lots of arm movements. Harrison Hanson has asked about the elbow. Meanwhile, it's a penalty to Featherstone Rovers. Foster's wanting to kick a goal, mega quick. That has really incensed the North Stand.
I lost count then.
And the 2 points is awarded.
So that'll be, that's 5-1 penalty count in their favour. You get that
in the second half?
Yeah.
So how many is that in total then that you've got for Featherstone?
Well, it was that's 5 I've got there for Featherstone.
No, but how many in total?
Total
9. Is that the 9th penalty? Yeah.
9-7.
So 10-6 is the score, thanks to that converted penalty from Foster, which comes 23 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, and he's actually stopped the clock here. Leigh have just got to get their head back and get sorted. Just settle down and try and play the rugby, even though the referee and Featherstone aren't allowing us to. Again, they've come with a plan, and I'd like to hear John Sharp.
Oh, but that's a knock-on from Anthony Thackeray. Oh, the referee hasn't even given it as a knock-on.
He has.
He took him so long to give it. Mr. Ansell, I don't like saying this, but I'm going to say it anyway. He's having a shocker of a second half, an absolute shocker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want him refereeing under-13s rugby.
Well, that would be an injustice to the under-13s team, wouldn't it? But yeah, a bit of pressure for Leigh here on this on the Featherstone line now. So at the moment, 26 minutes in, Dave's regathering his thoughts and regathering his composure. It's 10 points to 6.
Oh, it's gathered, don't worry. It is gathered. I'm just the ineptitude of the man in the middle, though. He's causing this entire situation and this fracas that we're seeing. Leigh putting it down the right hand side. Burns finds Worthington, who's inside the 10. It's going to end up with fisticuffs this. You can see it. I can see it all the way happening. Into the middle it comes with Burns. Burns releases it to Evans. Evans still inside that 10 metre line and directly in front of the post. Reynolds will send it right to Burns, who then finds Patterson. That pass did look a little suspect. He stopped 5 metres away from the line. Into the middle it comes with Burns. Burns just dabs it through and it's been dropped on by Hardman. Featherstone have the ball again, 2 metres away from their own line. Going to try and sort out this rustling that I can hear in my ear.
I think it's the rain that's coming down now, Dave.
Is it raining?
I think it is raining. I think that's what you're hearing in your ears, Dave. I don't think it's your microphone this time.
I was just checking. I've cleared it anyway. So I tell you what, if Leigh can force a mistake down here from Featherstone. Oh, had a hit there coming in from Armstrong. As soon as Cordin got hit, he was appealing to the referee. And they've got a penalty now. Offside. 10 penalties to Featherstone, 7 to Leigh. 10 points to 6 to Leigh.
Yeah, but it's 6-1 in this second period, Dave. That is crucifying us, isn't he? And as you say, he's lost it. We're 27 minutes in and Featherstone get some more respite as the ball just on the halfway line. So they'll restart and Leigh will attempt to tackle as strongly as he did previously. Tom Armstrong again.
He's had a good defensive game, Tom Armstrong, in this one.
He has.
Ellis runs from dummy half. Good tackle there, Patterson. 35 metres away from the try line of Featherstone Rovers is Ormonroyd. Bringing it through the middle. That's good yardage from the young forward. Rolled over on his back though. Leigh unable to make the usual use of substitutions that they have been able to. It's Thackeray, shows and goes. He's through. He's up against Lee Smith. Oh, he's lost the ball. It's then been kicked. And it's been put dead by the Centurions.
Knock on the referee. Knock on the referee.
In what world was that? Not
He
a
lost
knock
the
on?
ball. He lost the ball.
I think this is the right call, actually. I'm disagreeing with both of you. So it's a drop out from under the post. The North stand is going crazy. My co-commentators are going crazy. And for once, I'm in agreement with the match official. Although, I do think that if you want to see that, that's going to be on Leigh Centurions TV. It's going to be picked apart, this referee's performance. There's a good drop out behind the halfway line. Ormonroyd has it, runs it back. Seem to lift the knee in at Brad Fash, but we're not playing to any sort of structure or rules at the moment as Griffin brings it forward again for Featherstone Rovers. They've got themselves in a muck fight and Leigh need to somehow get themselves out of it. On the right it's with Thackeray. Thackeray, that's a horrible pass. It's kicked forward by Kay. Picked up by Kieran Johnson. All on waves the referee.
I'll agree with him that is the right decision.
Featherstone have it back on the 30 metre.
What a hit there off Harrison Hansen.
He's absolutely gone in and cleaned Ellis out.
He'll feel that tomorrow.
Here's Tag. That's anything but tag rugby though. Up to the 30 metre line. 25 metres in from touch. Ellis head on a swivel. Puts this left to Briggs. Briggs moves it further wide. This time on to Griffin. Griffin's going to be held on the 20 metre line. Third man joins the fray from the Centurions. He's pinched a couple of metres there, Griffin. Ball put right to Briggs, who looks for Thackeray. Oh,
great covering defence.
Excellent defence there from Drinkwater. Also involved there was Fash. Here's Craven, kicking wide. One to test out Adam Hickson, who takes it inside his own in goal area.
Come on, AJ, quick tap, come on.
That's what he's wanting. Dane Weston's really struggling out there, hands on hips as Hickson makes a good 10 metres. That's all over the man. That should be a penalty. Liam Kay runs and runs and runs again up to the 40 metre line. Burns in at dummy half, puts it right to Patterson. And Patterson rolls it forward to the halfway line. They look more comfortable when they're in this sort of position. Reynolds off the deck, finds Burns. Burns drops it back to Dane Weston. Weston was stood up there in the tackle and great hit on him. 3 players put into the defensive mark from Featherstone. It's slowing Leigh down. It's on the left with Burns, who puts it further left to Drinkwater. Now on to Smith. Wrapped up by Thackeray. Last tackle signalled. Worthington has it at dummy half. Passes infield to Drinkwater. Drinkwater looks for the touchline.
What a kick.
And has found
That's
it.
a good kick. That's good, as they said, game management. You know, get the ball off the island, as they say, and just have a minute. Just take our time. Don't rush to form the scrum. You know, with a minute to get there. We're 31 minutes into this game, so on my watch there's 9 minutes left, but no doubt that'll be a million miles away.
And I can just see Rennie Matua starting to prowl that touchline again, so it looks like there's an interchange coming. And maybe Fu as well is stretching, so I don't know whether Weston will be departing the pitch and Fu will be replacing him, and hopefully Matua might be replacing Brad Fash for a spell as well, but we'll have to see.
Look at Featherstone holding the ball in the scrum. Leigh pushing, ball's gone loose, and then eventually it's worked to Ian Hardman. That was good play from Leigh, that. They didn't fall for it, disengaging from the scrum on that occasion.
Yeah,
they put the push in.
Yeah.
So Rovers have it 10 metres away from their own line. Cardin, first missed tackle coming in of the game from Travis Burns. It was quite a spectacular one as well, to be fair. And now Featherstone playing on the left edge. This time he doesn't miss, does Burns. That's a good tackle.
Great
there,
strength from AJ.
Higson in on Spears. This is Bostock in the middle for Featherstone. Stopped on their own 20-metre line again. Can Leigh keep up this defensive intensity? Something's got to give. You can't keep tackling like this forever. But that's a great tackle again on Ellis by Patterson. Last tackle, the kicking from deep. Little chip over the top. It's for Thackeray, who's taking it on the burst. Thackeray kicks wide. Liam Kay's positioned himself superbly to deal with this. And he takes it in behind his own line. Can he get back in the field of play? He can, but he's being barreled back. It's going to be a dropout from under the post. That was a good chase from Featherstone on that occasion.
It was good play. They could see that the middle of the field was a bit fractured, and they've got a repeat set which could help.
And to be fair, in 2 kicks they've gone 70 metres and done exactly what none of the forwards could do.
Yeah, that's true, and I can see that Paul Anderson, a bit of old head there, he's thrown the ball over the back barrier, so there's no ball on the field.
And Patterson's down as well.
Patterson's gone down as well.
See, now this is where your clever rugby comes in, because they know they've not got the substitutions to keep going flat out, so they are taking these little bits, these little spells, just trying to get the energy back in the legs. And if Leigh Centurions get anything like a bit of energy back in the legs, I'd start worrying if I was Featherstone.
Well, that's true. Yeah, we're 33 minutes in, and Brad Fash and Ben Evans just been replaced by Rennie Matua and Fua. I think Corey was just using his head a bit.
Dave, I think you've got some scores for us.
I have, yeah. Dewsbury 40, Oldham 6, Swinton 10, London Broncos 34, and Workington Town 22, Bradford Bulls 22, with 5 minutes to go. Drop out from under the post for the Centurions. Kick comes in long from Leigh Smith. Plays the halfway line, bounces behind Johnson. It's going to bounce, and Johnson has bounced into touch.
What a kick! And you know what I blame for that? I blame Anthony Thackeray. He should have took control of that ball, and he
left it to the young winger, didn't he?
Left it to the young Anthony Thackeray has bottled it there. He should have took control of the ball.
That dropout in behind the halfway line, and then just allowed to bounce over once too many times by Kieran Johnson. It all just went really slow motion then, that, didn't it? As we were waiting and anticipating it going into touch. 10 points to 6 to Leigh. Can they put this one to bed?
But what a dropout from Leigh Smith. That's 70 metres in total, all the way to the touchline. That's a huge effort.
So Leigh in possession, 30 metres away from no one's talking then. What's going on with you all? It's through my mind, up to the 20-metre line.
We're just getting our breath back, Dave, as well as the Leigh players, because as you said, we've been a bit stretched with substitutions, so
Reynolds
everybody's held their hand up.
Is Harrison Hansen inside the 10-metre line, just to the right-hand side of the post. 3 players on the man.
This is the time Leigh Centurions have got to do something. They've got to cross that whitewash in this set.
It's left with Burns to Drinkwater. Drinkwater double pumps it, dummies, takes the tackle in the end. He was looking for the inside track and everybody had left him. Still 5 metres away from the line. It comes to the right hand side with Weston and Burns and Patterson. Quick hands. Onto Armstrong, steps away from 2, goes forward now, within inches of the line, but he's lost the ball, and Featherstone have it, and they're kicking forward into no man's land is where it's kicked, and there's no advantage there, so it's going to be a scrum, head and feed, 10 metres away from the goal line for Featherstone Rovers, but a chance for Leigh to try and force some more mistakes.
Yeah, our tackle has been superb up to now, and Featherstone have formed the scrum. The referee's actually just stopped the clock as I'm speaking now, and we get water carriers onto the field, so he stopped the clock. I'm surprised he's allowing water carriers on, even though everybody is probably really thirsty and gasping, but the clock stopped, and
that's just the commentary team.
That's just the commentary team, yeah. And of course our cameraman Drew.
He's working hard, Drew. You can tell.
Yeah.
Loves it when we give him a mention, you know. Here's Hardman. Good break from him. He's over the 20. He's heading for the 30. Leigh chased back. He had no way to get through that, didn't he? But he made it his own way.
He did well, didn't he?
Now Bostock.
Ran between Harrison Hansen, and Dane Weston finally completed the tackle on him.
Good tackle from Reynolds, but I think both him and Bostock have had a clash.
Clash of heads there, I think.
There's definitely a lot of tired bodies out there, especially with the fact that there's not been as many substitutions for Leigh as possible. Maybe that's why he got through there. There was a clash of heads. I think it was actually one of the final Leigh players that came in to finish the tackle off, kind of caught both of them, and it's unfortunate for Leigh, because Leigh can't afford to have another player go off the pitch, and it's who would you bring on and who would you put where?
With two Brad Fash.
I know what you could do. You could get Patterson out in the halves, bring Burns in at dummy half, and then you've still got an established half back pair.
You put your Brad Fash in at second row.
Brad Fash in at second row.
Hansen at loose forward.
Well,
there you go. Then.
See, there you go. Give me coaching badges.
Ben Reynolds is actually hooking, isn't he? So you'd have to put Brad Fash in as hooker.
Well, that's the substitution you'd make, but then what Dave's saying is you'd then move Travis Burns into 9, put Brad Fash in the second row, drop Hansen back to 13 and Corey Patterson to 6, but it doesn't actually look like it's going to get to that because Reynolds is on his feet and he's actually stood at first marker.
He's okay, he's Ben. Now it must be a bit of a mixed afternoon for Ben Reynolds' family, because I know that the big Featherstone Rovers fans as well.
All right. Yeah, that's not very good, as the Featherstone player is led from the field quite groggily there. He'll be seeing stars, won't he?
Bostock is being helped off, so it means that Baldwinson comes back to the field. He's been on and off like I don't know what.
He has indeed.
Rovers have it on the 40-metre line. Craven to play it. Referee waves time on. Baldwinson with the surge down the left. Leigh front up in defence, as they have done for the bulk of this game. 10 points to 6. Into the middle it comes with Briggs, who tries to work it back for Colton Roach. This reminds me of the game against Halifax a couple of seasons ago. I think Leigh won 11-4.
Well, like I was saying to you at half time, it does seem to be a very defensive game at the minute.
Yeah, it does. Last tackle this, so see what they do. Is Briggs going to kick?
Briggs, puts it down the touchline. Played off the boot of Lee Smith. Infield to Adam Higston. Higston's got 2 or 3 players in front of him. Tries to take them on. He's inside his own 20. Points are certainly at a premium.
Yep, they are, and I think René Matou is going to take a drive for us here, because he's, as Rob said, a bit of fresh legs back on.
Good drive as well. 15 metres gain. Quick play the ball. Reynolds puts it left to Worthington. So far it's his try that is the difference. Infield it's moved to Harrison Hansen. Takes a big surge, takes a big collision. We're almost in the hands of the timekeeper.
We're almost in the hands of the timekeeper, and just mentioning Harrison Hansen, Dave, he's my Thomas Hill man of the match.
And here's Patterson inside the Featherstone half break from him. So Harrison Hansen has got your nod, has it? Oh, kick goes out. It's a good kick as well from Travis Burns.
Harrison Hansen, for the effort he's done in the tackling side of it, but again he's always held his hand up and he's got there to, well, there's been a couple of people lagging, he's been there, and he's even now clapping his hands and encouraging the lads, for this final spurt. We are in the hands of the RFL timekeeper, because it's 40 minutes on Joe Wood's stopwatch, and the referee is actually dismissing the water carriers from the field of play.
And there's a good group
he wants to get the game over and done with, I think.
There's a big group of them, mainly from Leigh. Here's Carding for Featherstone Rovers, 22 metres away from their own line. Rovers need something spectacular. Ellis drives from dummy half, picks up 12 metres. Quick play the ball to Thackeray. It's put right to Bradley. Tag Knowles, or Knowles tag, and he's played that ball to Ellis. Infield it's with Craven. They're over the halfway line. Thackeray on the right hand side. Oh, it's juggled by Davis, thankfully back into the arms of Bradley Tag Knowles.
It hit our man of the match, Harrison Anston, and everybody rushes and pats him on the head, gives him a big hug because of the effort and his tackling, and he made sure that ball was
just over 3,500 here today. And the official man of the match given to Fui Moi. Joe's already named his man of the match. Just quickly, I'll throw it open to you listeners on Mixler. Just name yours as well. Do you agree with Joe?
Yeah. It had to be a forward because, as a couple of people have said, it has been forward orientated as the ball does go out wide from the scrum to Tom Armstrong, who engages with 3 tacklers. And again, you know, they are slowing us down as much as they can, and the referee has allowed it. It probably has ruined the game as a spectacle because they are 2 good teams, but Featherstone have come with a plan. John Sharp, their coach, as Adam Mixon, does really well for our team. Scoots.
He's gained a good 15 metres
exactly.
there, hasn't he?
So that's all we should be doing now, just scooting. Travis Burns has dropped into first receiver. Dane Weston takes the ball.
Nice little flat pass there from Dane Weston to Harrison Anderson. Just a quick one for man of the match. A contender could have been Tom Armstrong, but the work rate that Harrison Anderson's gone through is just second to none today.
Here's Rennie Matua on that 20 metre line, barrelled back, last tackle signalled. So Reynolds has it, puts it left to Drinkwater. Drinkwater kicks it hard, kicks it low, kicks it into the corner, and will pack down 15 metres away from the try line, the Featherstone try line, with Featherstone looking at stopping this clock again. I wonder whether there's enough. They tried it in the first half. I wonder whether there's enough energy in this Featherstone Rovers team for them to kick long and put Leigh under pressure.
I was just about to say that. What I'd do is, if I was Leigh, I'd take the risk this time, and I'd actually leave Lee Smith at fullback, and or actually Adam Higson's dropped a little bit, so he's actually got that extra 10 metres. But they're not going to try it this time. If Featherstone Rovers is
and Liam Kay's actually coming back here now.
Yeah, and Harrison Anderson's there again making the tackles.
Here's Colton Roach driving forward. The last run was taken in by the young winger Kieran Johnson. 10 points to 6. Tight as a drum this game. Oh, and that's a rough pass to the left hand side, kicked on by Adam Higson. Higson, can he keep it in the field? He's kicked it in field, and Tom Armstrong has touchdown. That is game, set and match to Leigh Centurions. He kicks the ball away in delight, does Tom Armstrong. It's a scrappier try as you'll ever get, but it's 4 points to Leigh, and I for one don't care.
I certainly agree with you, Dave, but it was the pressure given on the Featherstone man and ball by Tom Armstrong, and Adam Higson also reacted and hacked the ball on, and thankfully, as we know, a rugby ball can bounce anywhere, but it bounced infield, and Tom was quick, and you know, as Rob said, some tired bodies out there, but Tom made sure his body got there and grounded the ball, and Featherstone are in a huddle on the try line, but I think that is it, Rob.
I think that is it. I think we need to get Adam Higson on the first plane over to France with those footballing skills for the ball back inside to Tom Armstrong. I was just about to say though, this game has been attritional. I think that's the word that we're going to have to use, and you saw that with Tom Armstrong's tackle, and then just the sheer effort. I don't know how much energy Tom Armstrong would add left in the tank at that point, but to sprint 20 metres to get onto that, just an absolute fantastic achievement from that right hand edge from Leigh Centurions. A well deserved 4 points, and while it's not been the biggest scoreline of a rugby match, it's one of them where you can go back in the changing room, sit down and just go, do you know what, we've earned that, and we can enjoy next week.
Harping back, as me and Dave said before, Gareth Ellis at Hull and Warrington game, that was
what a kick from Travis Burns off the touchline. I saw it was Josh Drinkwater.
I was just about to say it's Josh Drinkwater with the kick.
Yeah, Gareth Ellis said at Hull, poor game from their standards, but they picked the 2 points up. Neil Dukes will probably be saying the same thing when we interview him after Leigh Centurions TV. We've not completed. we've been penalised, hammered in the second half, but there's still 2 points in the offering.
Featherstone still trying to get hold of the ball, and it's gone their way with Hardman. Ball bobbled around a little bit between Davis and the like. Infield it comes to Tag.
Kudos to Featherstone Rovers. They're still trying to chase this game. We don't know how long is left, but they've tried the short kick-off, and so they're still going for it, and it's great to watch.
Long ball to Briggs, further wide
tackle
to Craven.
Hickson. Great tackle.
Hickson
Malin ball.
Now Colton Roach hands it on to Baldwinson in a huge hole. He's looking around for support. It's Baldwinson. Leigh are going to tackle him 5 metres out from the line. Rovers still flooding forward. Here's Ellis. Infield. They're going to go under the posts, and that is a try for Knowles. Tag under the post. 16 points to 10. Quick kick as you like. This will make it 16-12. Foster converts. 16-12 is the score, and still we go on.
Yep, still they go on. So Leigh have got a minute now to walk out, and no doubt the Featherstone fans will not like that, but that is in the rules. So we have a minute to walk out. Paul Anderson's on the field urging the team forward, and the referee's actually stopped the clock now as we are looking 47 minutes on Joe Wood's stopwatch as Brad Fash comes on to replace Fui, because Fui tried to go out with a big shot, missed it. That's where the initial gap was, and as you said, was it Baldwinson who scored right under the post because we didn't regroup?
Well, it was Knowles Tag who scored under the post. Sorry. It was the initial run from Baldwinson through the middle that set the position. Some scores around the championship: Dewsbury Rams 46, Oldham 10, Swinton 16, London Broncos 42, and Workington Town's brave challenge fell in the end. Bradford winning that one by 29 points to 22. Rovers in possession from the kick-off. Do they believe? Do they think they can get another try as this clock ticks down? As I said, we're unsure quite how much time is remaining. We're nowhere near the official timekeeper as Craven brings it left, then steps back on the inside to take on Harrison Hanson, who brings him down with another crunching tackle. Ellis runs from dummy half, picks up 10, picks up 15. He's up to the 30-metre line. Plays it quickly. Craven, long ball to Briggs, out to Thackeray on the right, further wide it's with Hardman, out to Kieran Johnson. Oh, that's a great tackle. Rennie Matua has just about won the game with an absolute belter of a cover tackle on the winger Johnson, and it's head and feet to Leigh Centurions, 40 metres away from their own line at the scrum.
Just look at Harrison Hanson though, the effort he must have put in. He must be aching now. What he'll be like in the morning when they come in for rehab, I don't really know, but everybody, as Rob said, everybody else is out on the feet. But
I bet he'll be hoping he's not on dropping off kids duty tomorrow at school. Yeah, I don't know how he's going to move.
Yeah. They'll be in for a rehab, for a bit of a swim and a bit of a rub down, and he's even shouting, just play with the ball now. You just got to complete our set of six with six times with the ball here now. Tom Armstrong, who has been really go forward for us in the back line.
We've had 9 minutes extra this second half, haven't we? Still it goes on as Fash brings it to the halfway line.
Well, there cannot be long left now at all. I mean, seconds surely, but
it's Harrison Hanson, good run.
It is the timekeepers as ever that we wait for, and Harrison Hanson there again. How's he got energy left?
Reynolds to his left hand side, moves it to Dane Weston, drives it to the 40-metre line. Burns just in there controlling things, just talking Reynolds through it. Gets hold of the ball, does Burns. Gets an offload as well to Lee Smith, who thinks I'll have another run. Bounces out of 2 tackles. Brings it right onto Patterson. Onto Armstrong. Armstrong checks his run. Comes back on the inside. He's still going Armstrong. Now Burns onto Fash inside the 20.
What a dummy from Fash.
Hit on the 15 metres away from the line.
I think we're looking for a drop goal here.
Last tackle signal. No, it's put right. Here's Burns. Banana kick back to the middle. Oh, and just so close from Reynolds, but he's in an offside position anyway. So it's a penalty which goes to Featherstone Rovers. They won't have chance to do much with it, but they will have to still play it.
They'll have to play the ball. They'll have to play the ball, won't they?
Yep. So Craven kicks it downfield. They've got one player. They've got one play. 16-12.
Yeah.
This could be epic. Carding onto Briggs, onto all the way on the right hand side. Thackeray, it's going its way back to Briggs, who's dropped it off for Baldwinson, who's offloaded for Briggs. Briggs keeps it moving to Carding on the left.
Forward pass, game, set and match.
The Centurions have done it this afternoon in a close run thing, a defence orientated match. It's been won by 16 points to 12. Tries this afternoon for the Centurions from Liam Kay, Greg